Wheat is one of the oldest cultivated crops, feeding civilizations for thousands of years. But the wheat we eat today is vastly different from the grains our ancestors once grew. From the tall, hardy plants of ancient wheat to the high-yield varieties we see on modern farms, this transformation has shaped our food, our health, and our environment. Today we'll explore the key differences between ancient and modern wheat, including the types of wheat, their gluten content, their physical attributes, and how and why wheat was hybridized over time. Types of wheat. Let's start by looking at the different types of wheat. Ancient wheat varieties like einkorn, emmer, and spelt are some of the oldest cultivated grains. These wheat types have simple genetic structures with fewer chromosomes. Einkorn, for example, has just 14 chromosomes. They also contain lower levels of gluten, typically between 7 to 10%, which made them easier to digest. These varieties were used for traditional breads, porridges, and flatbreads, providing a staple food for many ancient civilizations. Modern wheat, on the other hand, is primarily represented by bread wheat or Triticum aestivum. This variety has a much more complex genetic structure with 42 chromosomes, and its gluten content has increased to around 10 to 15%. This higher gluten content gives modern wheat dough its elastic properties, making it ideal for mass production of bread, pasta, and other baked goods. Another key difference between ancient and modern wheat is their physical size. Ancient wheat plants were tall, often reaching 4 to 5 feet in height, but their stalks were fragile and prone to breaking during harvest. This made them difficult to manage on a large scale. Modern wheat, however, has been bred to be much shorter, often just 2 to 3 feet tall. These dwarf or semi-dwarf varieties are sturdier and more resistant to falling over, a condition known as lodging. This structural change has made modern wheat much easier to harvest, especially with today's large-scale mechanized farming methods. Environmental suitability. Ancient wheat thrived in harsh natural environments. It grew well without the need for synthetic fertilizers or pesticides, and it had a natural resistance to certain diseases. However, these ancient varieties yielded less grain per acre, which made them better suited for small-scale organic farming. In contrast, modern wheat has been specifically designed for high-yield intensive farming. While these crops require fertilizers, pesticides, and irrigation to thrive, they produce much more grain per acre, feeding a growing global population. But this high-input farming comes with its own set of challenges, such as greater vulnerability to pests and diseases without chemical protection. Gluten and nutritional differences. When it comes to gluten content, ancient wheat varieties are much lower in gluten, which made them easier to digest for many people. Ancient wheat is also rich in protein, fiber, and important micronutrients like magnesium and zinc, making it a healthier option for those seeking more balanced nutrition. Modern wheat, with its higher gluten content, is prized for its ability to create elastic dough, ideal for mass-producing baked goods. However, the increased gluten content has been linked to the rise of gluten-related disorders, such as celiac disease and non-celiac gluten sensitivity. Additionally, modern wheat tends to be less nutrient-dense due to the monoculture farming practices used today. Reasons for hybridization. The hybridization of wheat didn't happen overnight. It began around 10,000 years ago, when wild wheat was first domesticated in the Fertile Crescent. The goal back then was simple: make harvesting and storage easier for early farmers. Over time, wheat underwent selective breeding, which continued through the centuries. Fast forward to the 19th century, when traditional selective breeding techniques were used to improve wheat's yield and disease resistance. But it wasn't until the mid-20th century, during the Green Revolution, that wheat truly transformed. Scientists like Norman Borlaug developed dwarf wheat varieties that were more efficient and resistant to lodging. This helped increase yields to feed a growing global population. In recent years, genetic modification and further hybridization have been used to develop wheat varieties that are even more uniform for mechanized farming. These modern varieties have higher gluten content and are more tolerant to herbicides and pests, which supports the mass production of wheat for commercial use. Why ancient wheat was replaced? Why was ancient wheat replaced by these modern varieties? The answer lies in economic efficiency. Modern wheat produces much more grain per acre, which is essential for feeding billions of people worldwide. Population growth and the rise of industrial farming also played a role. The increasing demand for food, along with the need for machinery-friendly crops, made shorter, high-yield wheat the preferred option. Plus, high gluten wheat suited the industrial bread and processed food industries, making it the dominant choice in today's food system. The shift from ancient to modern wheat has undeniably brought benefits, such as higher yields and the ability to feed a growing global population, but it has also led to challenges, including lower nutritional value and rising gluten-related health issues. Interestingly, ancient grains like einkorn and spelt are making a comeback, especially among health-conscious consumers looking for a nutrient-dense option. These ancient wheats offer a glimpse into the past, connecting us to the farming practices and foods that shaped human civilization. So the next time you enjoy a slice of bread, think about the journey that wheat has taken through thousands of years of cultivation and innovation, from the ancient fields to your plate. And who knows, you might just find yourself reaching for that ancient grain the next time you're looking for something a little different. For those interested in reconnecting with ancient grains, varieties like einkorn and spelt are available today, offering a taste of our agricultural history. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe for more videos on food, farming, and history.